guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Carol. Thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I was just going to talk about the intermittent fasting journey that I'm doing right now and why I chose the method that I chose, because there are different methods to choose from. Let me say that I am not a doctor. I am not a professional. I am not here to advise you. I'm just doing something that has worked for me in the past. I mean, if you decide to do any type of diet, and I would suggest that you talk to your doctor first and go from there. Like I said, this is just my personal experience and the things that I have learned about, or I think I've learned about each method of intermittent fasting. Okay, now the first one I want to talk about, and it's just a little bit of information that I'm given on each one, or 4 different methods. The first one is the 1 meal a day. Some people refer to it as OMAD, and it's pretty much like it says. You eat 1 big meal a day, and that's it. I knew this was not the one for me, because if I tried to eat 1 meal a day, I was going to overeat on that 1 meal, because I'd be thinking, okay, I'm feeling full now, but I'll probably be hungry later, so let me overstuff myself. So, and then also I think I read that it could lead to being restricting calories could lead to hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, and I'm type 2 diabetic, so that wasn't something I needed to do. And I would like I said, I'd be the one binge eating on this weight loss plan. So I think I read that some of the adverse effects of doing this could lead to irritability, you hangry, or nausea, low energy, or constipation. So I bypassed that one. The next method I learned a little about is the 5-2 method, and it's kind of like it says, you eat normally for 5 days, and then you restrict your calories. I think 500 for women and 600 for men for 2 non-consecutive days. So like if you were fasting on a Tuesday, maybe you don't fast again until Friday, something like that. Like I said, non-consecutive days. And I think some of the side effects on that one included, sleeplessness on the fasting days, bad breath, constipation, irritability, and so on. And then I think one of them was reduced concentration, and I'm already 65 and trying not to struggle with concentration, so I really didn't need that, and I knew that wasn't the one for me either, because I being diabetic and a couple other health issues, I do take medication, and some of those meds require me to take the medicine with food. So I really didn't want to have days where I had to take my medicine without some food. I don't need any digestive issues, so I bypassed that one. Another intermittent fasting method is the ADF, or alternate day fasting, and just like it says, you eat normally one day and then you fast the next day, or just very few calories, because on this intermittent fast, I mean, you're allowed to drink as many 0-calorie drinks as you want to drink, water or sugar-free tea, or black coffee, no sugar, no cream. So you can do as much of that as you want, and it helps to curb your appetite. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Of course, it has all the little negative things that can come along with that, like irritability and bad breath, and of course hunger on the fasting days. And then I think it could also increase your LDL cholesterol, which is your bad cholesterol, and I didn't need that. And then the method I did choose was the one I think is probably the most well known or the most popular, and that's the 16-8 method. And with that one, it's like you fast for 16 hours and then you eat for 8 hours, or you can eat during that 8-hour time frame. You know, you just choose what time frame works for you, like you know, maybe 8 to 4. You want to eat during the hours of 8 to 4 and then fast the rest of the time. It's really not as hard as you might think, because you're sleeping for a lot of those hours. And when you do this method, you know, any of them, you just kind of want to ease into it. Like if you normally eat 6 a.m., say, before you start fasting, if you usually eat at 6, then kind of push it to 7 one day, and then maybe push it to 8 the next day, you know, just so you can kind of get your body or your mind used to you know, eating later and then eating within that certain time frame. So I chose to do 10 to 6. And even with that, you know, I think that if I'm doing 10 to 6 and say I'm going out to eat with friends at 7, then I'm just gonna, I don't do that very often, and I'm just doing this fasting for a short time. But you know, if I know I'm going to eat at 6 or 7 in the evening, then I will not eat the next day until 11 or 12. So I try not to adjust it too much, but you can be flexible, or I think you can be flexible. Like I said, I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, but that's what has worked for me. Like I said in previous videos, I have done this once before for a couple of weeks when I was going to a reunion and wanted to lose a little tummy before I got there, and it did reduce the bloating on my tummy. But yeah, that's the 16-8. And like I said, you kind of just want to ease into the fasting. Like if you eat excuse me, if you eat a lot of snacks between meals, then you kind of want to back away from that, and you want to, one important thing is to hydrate. You really want to make sure you're taking in enough liquids, calorie free, especially water. You do not want to get dehydrated. And also that's going to kind of curb your hunger. And then also you want to reduce the amount of sugar or refined carbs to minimize your cravings and help to stabilize your blood sugar. And let's see. Oh, one thing that's really important is, or for me it is, that has really helped me, is to stay busy while you are fasting. And the last couple of days have been a little difficult for me because we've had some ice and snow outside, and I'm trying to busy myself around the house. It has helped a lot when I've had things to do and I can, you know, I run errands or I have some work jobs to do. And I'm not thinking about food. But when you're in the house and you know what's in the refrigerator, and it's just kind of on your mind more. So try to keep busy. That will really help. That really helps me not to think about the food so much. And then I think it's going to be tough at first, but you know, after you get past the first 2 or 3 days, then you should be okay. And then last but not least, you want to make sure that when you break your fast, that you fast with a balanced meal. Don't just start thinking about the pizza and the cookies or whatever you're gonna eat when you get off of this fast. Don't do that. Don't even eat the processed foods or you know, don't eat the junk. Kind of steer away from it when you're doing your fast. And I also try to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I have, and it's not just necessary for the weight thing, but you know, I had some problems with my shoulder, so I'm still trying to work through that. I'm released from physical therapy and from the orthopedic doctor, so I'm trying to make sure it stays decent and not painful. But anyway, that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like my video, please subscribe, comment, or like, and hopefully you'll come and see me in my next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.